welcome back to MLG Classics Best of the Best. Hope you got your votes in for those last two games from the 2013 MLG Winter Championships. Let's take a look at a bracket and see what's in store next for us. Of course, we can see here in this bracket, got a lot of awesome matches. The next one up is going to be a matchup between an Idra vs Marine King game and a Flash versus Innovation game. Another old school versus new school type of matchup. So our first match is going to be Idra versus Marine King. This was a 2011 match on Talder Molter. Insane macro from both players in this game. It was the true macro of Idra versus the macro combined of Marine King. Let's get right in this game and see these two giants clash.
And I will come to consciousness and maybe punch them in the face to get back. Anyways, if that happens, just be prepared. But this is going to be awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is about to begin. Do you have any predictions?
I'm hoping for extremely long, 15-hour-long games, but we are going to see here. And guys, if there's any game to make the most noise for, it is going to be this one. So I want to introduce the first player.
Go ahead and make sure, even if you're watching at home, home alone, be sure to cheer. If you're watching at a Barcraft, be sure to cheer. And if you are here live at Orlando, be sure to make as much noise as you can.
In the top left side, it is going to be Marine King.
And in the bottom left corner, the bad boy of esports, renowned as one of the only hopes the foreign community has, it is EG's Idra.
Oh man, the Barcrafts around the world just made so much additional money from people buying booze and other drinks to prepare for this match, because you know what? I think everyone's gonna need a little bit of that just to kind of calm themselves. I know that I should probably be drinking right now because this game is probably going to be my favorite from the entire tournament, Sean.
Yeah, and you know, considering the way that Marine King Prime played in the last two TVZs that we saw, I mean, lifting up to the center of the match, going up 6 Hellions at a time, the triple reactor, I definitely think that that is going to be hard for Idra to deal with, as he is bar none when it comes to straight up matches, and also bar none when it comes to losing to new strategies.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like if Marine King decides to go for a build like that, he may need to go for one that hits a little bit sooner, because I feel like that's where Idra's going to be set on tilt the most. But if it's kind of a delayed amount of, I don't know if you call it cheese, but definitely unorthodox play, I feel like Idra's response is at least going to be the correct one. As long as he keeps his nerves cool, he'll be able to deal with it. So I'm really curious to see, is Marine King going to try and give us an amazing show here, or has someone kind of told him in his ear, hey, Idra's really good, this match is super important, you should probably not Manor Mule at the 20-second mark.
That is correct. Some guy in a trench coat with a big hat shrouded in darkness came up and said, hey, play straight up versus Idra. Marine King Prime smiled and giggled and pointed to his Reddit patch because he doesn't speak English very well.
Yeah, he does love that character indeed. And of course, the map is Tal'Darim Altar. If you're just tuning in, you are tuning in to the best match of the night, I would say, as this match is very, very important. Marine King going to be going for a super early expand. What do you think about building this outside of your safe wall?
You know, I definitely don't think it's going to be a problem. He just poked in to the Zerg base and notices no gas whatsoever. This could be something tricky in store from Idra. No gas anywhere. His crutch play is to go for the speed Zergling Mutalisk. And I'm just not seeing that at all. And Marine King almost certainly is noticing the same. He is going to be building these 2 barracks before he even builds a bunker. Slow Lings literally do no damage to Marines no matter what, no matter how many there are.
Yeah, that is so true, especially with the micro that we've seen of Marine King. I mean, he lives up to his name of being the king of Marines, and he cares about the people, Sean. He will keep them alive as long as he can, just really abusing the terrain like nothing else I've seen from any other player. And we do see the double gas now going down for Marine King after adding on those 2 barracks. And we do have just the 1 gas out of Idra here, but this is going to allow him to get a lot of drones. Those inject larvas are going to be effective here. But this, you're absolutely right. This is definitely not the Idra that we're all used to.
What's very interesting is that the average Terran player will end up scouting around in circles in the Zerg base and say, oh, thank goodness, no speed. I am safe from any sort of early attack. Oh. Marine King Prime, stay one time. And as easy as that, he's back.
It's like a secret saying. It's just like it goes back generation after generation. Marine King Prime, stay one more time. I remember listening to that
way back in the barbershop quartets that used to cheer him on in youth. Now, to note Marine King Prime, a lot of Terran players will just say, oh, goodness, that's so great. He's not going to attack me. But Marine King Prime is the sort to bring the noise back to say, well, hey, if you don't have speed, I can move out with my Marines whenever I so please. And it looks like Marine King going to take a little bit more of an extreme choice, going to get this +1 attack upgrade before combat shield, before stim, before anything else. Because, again, no way he can be attacked at all.
This is turning out to already be an awesome game to start off this series, simply because Idra, I mean, he's kind of doing his, typical macroing up, but I like that he's getting some defense here that is going to really prevent any sort of major push out from Marine King. At least it's going to buy Idra enough time to drag this into the mid game. It looks like it's going to come down to when does Idra take that third base, because having those destructible rocks there do make that a little bit of a challenge. But Sean, I'm getting so excited because this looks like we may see a macro game.
I'm getting really nervous for Marine King Prime. I mean, we're seeing the Baneling nest get built. Is he going for defensive Banelings? It all depends on this next round. And no, he looks like he is not going for some sort of crazy bust. He instead...
Oh, he shot his own Marine. Did you see the execution style
he was
shot
a
right
traitor.
There? He was like, yes, he was a traitor. He was giving intelligence to the Zerg player. But I was going to say, oh, losing 2 Zerglings, that sucks. But I guess Marine King just... Another fun day Monday. Kill your units every time you kill one of theirs.
Man, I can't wait to announce that on Tuesday.
Oh, God, so good. But we do see the Marines now moving out. The creep spread pretty good for Idra. Just needs to make sure to get that burrowed as soon as he can, as the defensive Banelings are now in position. Was able, I believe, to kill a creep tumor right there. Yes, he did kill that. That's so annoying.
Be careful.
Idra needs to get a good hit. He
bam.
does focus those down. Idra isn't going to have enough Zerglings here. I'm kind of curious as to why he's actually engaging this, but was able to pick it away a little bit.
Scans, picking off all the creep tumors, and this poor queen gets eliminated easily. And Marine King Prime just going to do a little bit of Marine King retreating, or he may just sit here.
Marine King sitting more like, as he does have those Marines still outside the base. And Idra, I'm kind of baffled as to why he continued to engage there, but maybe he can get enough stuff to clean this up. Doesn't look like it, though.
Meanwhile, back home, another command center popping up. We see the Marines now pulling back at the perfect time. He needs to be really careful. We see that more Zerglings are continuing to be constructed. He needs to stay away from the creep. Marine King is going absolutely aggro, bonkers, crazyville, nutcase.
No.
What is happening with these Marines? There's nothing safe there.
Oh, no. What are you doing, Marines? This is not the best idea that Marine King Prime has ever had. Maybe he'll prove me wrong by killing all these Zerglings. That would not surprise me. This is a lot of Zerglings, Marine King. And Idra is killing the rocks, not the Marines. The Marines are now trapped. They are up against the wall. Where are the Banelings? They decided not to roll down here, even though this would be a perfect time. He does get a decent surround. The Marine count is getting dangerously low, but Banelings are apparently pacifist in this game.
No way!
And that was ridiculous. That having one Baneling in there would have killed all of those off. I am a little baffled as to what happens.
I honestly can't wait to say this, but Marine King looked into his magic ball and did some Marine King scrying. Figured out that that was actually the correct move to do. I mean, that actually should not have worked, but amazingly, he has blocked the third rocks. This third hatch that very much so would have been wanted to be placed at that expansion will not be happening. The Spire is now getting close to finishing. Marine King already has that third command center done, macroing up that large force and is going straight up for a drop.
God, even leaving these couple of Marines back here may be able to kill some drones if Idra does not spot them. And yeah, he does not know that those are there. So right now we do see that that factory is nearly completed. There is going to be a drop inside the main base. A huge Baneling hit, able to kill up some of those Marines. But look at this, a multi-pronged drop by Marine King. Gonna try and make it work here.
Oh, and he manages to get the Baneling, and it looks like the Zerglings do not quite do enough damage in time, and Mutalisks are in production. The stim is still about 15 seconds out. Marine King has done incredible damage. Look at that unit's lost tab.
That is absolutely bonkers. Now, even if Idra cleans this up, which he may lose a Muta or two, and they're doing so, there goes one Muta. Second Muta is down. Marine King. Sean, why do you think he would ever name himself this?
I think it's because the only unit he will ever attack with is the Marine. Now the stim is done, and look at this, +2. +2 about to get started for our Terran player, and Idra is struggling to establish that standard Ling Muta Baneling mixture, and unbelievably enough, the Terran player is ahead in workers.
Not a comfortable position at all. Now, Marine King is slightly supply blocked here. Actually, heavily supply blocked. He hasn't started making any more depots right now. So this may be the chance that Idra needs to get back into this game. That would have been devastating there. Thankfully for Idra, he was indeed attacking the rocks. The Mutalisk harassment has begun, and the supply block is continuing for Marine King, but at this point you would expect a Zerg player to be ahead of the Terran, and that, I mean, simply put, that's just not what we're seeing right now.
Those little handful of Marines do get picked off, but now Marine King Prime knows exactly what is up. We see double tank production, and this is actually very counterintuitive, but very, very clever by the Terran player. Ordinarily, when you see a player going Muta, Ling, you think to yourself, well, I better get a lot of Marines, so that way I can help control that Mutalisk force.
Right.
What Marine King Prime is saying is that, well, I'm going to wait till my 2-2 upgrades are done, and I'm going to have so many tanks that there is no way the Zerg can comfortably engage me in a head-on fight. And those Mutalisks suddenly will be unable to really do much harassment and will be forced to deal with this direct tank push.
I love the +1 upgrade on those tanks as well. We do have +1 attack on the way for the Mutas, but I just don't know if that's going to be enough. His Muta Ball is not looking the most healthy that I would expect at a time like this. Needs to be careful in the center as the Marines are able to chase those away. But Marine King is just so good with the Marines, already spreading them out so that even if he does get engaged right here, he's going to be fine. Although Idra did finish up a lot of Banelings. Here comes the pressure for Marine King. He could begin sieging this Expo from the low ground.
Uh-oh, and there he has managed to get to the money spot. These positions helping him so much. Mutalisk from Idra trying to cut off reinforcements. The Banelings, oh no, wandering off onto their own. The siege tanks will be able to clean that up relatively easily, and he gets eliminated.
Huge focus firing there on those siege tanks, able to clean this up seemingly with ease right here, and just a little bit of momentum that Marine King was able to get in the early game. He is carrying to a swift victory in the center. Now, he doesn't have much anti-air remaining, so these Mutas really can go to town, but I think that 5 Marines is enough to kill them off. Idra losing focus here in this game, just losing those Mutas to a handful of Marines. Literally, it was like 5, and look at the reinforcements. The good game from Marine King.
This would be such a bitter loss for Idra if he was booted down out of this series, having gone 4.
Marine King doesn't even need Stim to get a lot of damage done with his Marines. Taking it to Idra early on with a 3 barracks Marine pressure. An amazing game that coming up next is going to be Flash vs. Innovation.